Very good evening to you and welcome to TV47 Weekend. Remember to send us your feedback at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms, with 22047 being our SMS line. Now on the Weekend with Muthoni segment, we've got the cocktail whisperer here with us tonight. He goes by the name Pavraj, and he'll get to teach us a couple of things on how to make the perfect ocean water mocktail for your family and friends. Now remember, mocktail is a non-alcoholic beverage. Now before we get to that interview will come at the very end of the bulletin, so do stay tuned for that. And before we get to that, now let's take a look at tonight's top stories.
Tonight,
the commissioners of IEBC must know that they have a solemn duty to preside over an election. We want the election to be free and fair.
Stop interfering with the election process, DP Ruto tells government. This as election sticker fiasco continues to escalate. Scramble for votes as Raila woos Murang'a.
Sisi tumesema nyinyi mnatoa ushuru kila siku. Hapa mama akienda kununua chumvi katika duka pale ametoa ushuru. Kununua sukari mtoa ushuru.
As Ruto charms KAJIADO and NAROK residents.
Watu wa Narok County wote wamekubali na wameshughulikiwa na kutakuwa na makubaliano ili tuhakikisha kwamba hakuna mtu ambaye anaharibiwa mali yake ama watu wa Narok wanyang'anywe ardhi yao.
So in short, we have an outbreak that has spread around the world rapidly through new modes of transmission, about which we understand too little and which meets the criteria in the international health regulations.
World Health Organization declares monkeypox an endemic, urges the globe to be cautious.
Welcome to the broadcast. Catherine Simalo is our sign language interpreter. I am Muthoni Maina. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has defended the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and accused the police of intimidating IEBC officials. Ruto has lashed at President Uhuru Kenyatta for allegedly allowing the police to harass poll officials. And as Mwangi Maina reports, the DCI has refuted claims that IEBC officials were detained, accusing Chairperson Wafula Chebukati of misleading Kenyans.
The push and pull by the main political coalitions in the run-up to the 2022 presidential poll over the conduct of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) and the political battles that the IEBC has found itself in threaten to scuttle the credibility of the election.
KAJIADO amjambo! And Waito Moriega.
While meeting a delegation from KAJIADO County at the official Deputy President current residence, UDA flag bearer William Ruto called out President Uhuru Kenyatta for allowing the police to harass IEBC officials with an intention to manipulate the election.
Mr. President, please do not allow this country to go down the drain in your hands. Do not allow the police to be used to manipulate the election, to intimidate the IEBC, to cause confusion. You have a duty as president to ensure that every Kenyan enjoys their constitutional right to vote for whoever they want and to ensure that there is sufficient security for IEBC and for all Kenyans.
I want to talk as the chief agent of KWANZA. This country cannot entertain another 2007. Do not joke with IEBC. Do not joke with the election outcome.
Following the arrest, detention, and the subsequent release of 3 Venezuelan nationals contracted by the IEBC for the installation of key election technology, KWANZA leadership says the government through police is intimidating the poll body in a bid to interfere with the credibility of the election in favor of Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate.
Mr. President, the games that are going on at the moment around IEBC, what the police is doing to undermine the work of the IEBC and to attempt to manipulate the outcome of this election doesn't augur well for Kenya. We want a democratic election. We do not want any favors. We want fairness and we want a democratic election.
Tunajua kuna jama kutoka kwa Azimio kwamba wiki inayokuja kila siku kutakuwa na mambo ya kujaribu kumharibia jina Chebukati.
The coalition averred that the intended harassment of IEBC officials is geared to undermine the credibility of IEBC to conduct free, fair and credible elections and plunge the country into chaos.
Hile inaendelea kwa IEBC is a systematic plan to cause chaos and confusion in the country so that BBI iweze ikarudishwa in the style of 207 ya Kofi Annan.
Immediately after the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati issued a statement condemning the arrest and intimidation of 3 staff, including the confiscation of all gadgets and police demanding passwords from the election officials. DCI boss George Kinoti trashed the statement, saying no IEBC staff has been detained. Further, Kinoti says there is no office of the OCS, the anti-terror police unit, under his directorate, whom Chebukati claims has instructed the 3 poll officials to present themselves on Tuesday next week. The IEBC chairman still holds that the OCS anti-terror police is still holding the election stickers, even after the National Police Service spokesperson said the impounded stickers at JKIA had been released to the poll body. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Moving on, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has asked the Teachers Service Commission to expedite the probe and procedurally dismiss a teacher from Miamninia Primary School for allegedly punishing a Class 8 pupil for failing to attain 400 marks in his exams. In the video doing rounds on social media, the unidentified pupil is heard saying he is contemplating dropping out of school because he can no longer stand the pain. Chapter with it.
Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha wants the teacher who punished a Class 8 pupil at Nyamninia Primary School in Siaya County over poor performance sacked. In a video doing rounds on social media, the pupil is heard lamenting over the punishment after he failed to score 400 marks in his exams.
I told you this boy is in body.
400 marks. I think I should be able to achieve what I have in that marks that I've already got. But now if they want to force 400 with me and I can't achieve it, what will I do? For all my years, 11 years in that school, but now I can't continue learning there.
Where's your shoes?
Sasa mwana kama nimetoka wakati mwana sasa wanikimbize nisinde pale. Na mimi sasa nimechoka. Afadhali sasa ujiue kuliko kufikiria vitu mingi hapo kwa shule.
It is totally against the law to apply any stick on a child as the law currently stands. My personal opinion notwithstanding. But it is savage to cane a child like you are caning an animal.
Professor Magoha has asked the Teachers Service Commission to expedite the probe and procedurally dismiss the teacher, whose actions have not only caused an uproar on social media but also instilled fear in parents.
The TSC will deal with them, but you as Ngao has work to do to ensure that they face the full force of the law. Every child in Kenya matters. Every child is important. And let this be a warning to anybody. If I, as a cabinet secretary, cannot cane a child, who do you think you are as an ordinary teacher?
While addressing the media after inspecting CBC classes at Wagwa Mixed Secondary School, Magoha claimed that the majority of teachers frustrating pupils over performance cannot even tackle the exams and score the marks they are demanding from the pupils, hence must be tamed at all costs.
So now, if we catch you sending a child home to go and collect money for food or motivation, then you are on your own. And I think how you can actually activate your systems and start dealing with them. Because I think if you are evil, you should either resign from teaching or think of another thing to do.
Magoha at the same time put on notice head teachers and principals sending students back home over school fees arrears, saying the government has released 16 billion shillings capitation fund to both our primary and secondary schools. Shepto Boit, TV 47.
Thank you, sir.
Such a heartbreaking incident there. May justice be served. Now, on to political matters. Deputy President William Ruto has vowed to address the historical land injustices in NAROK and KAJIADO County, promising to resolve controversial Kedong Ranch matter if elected president. The second in command has slammed Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga, saying he lacks a clear agenda for the nation. Paul Kirobi has more.
Deputy President William Ruto today took his campaigns to Narok County, barely a week after the Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga toured the area. The scramble for votes from the Ma community intensified as the second in command delved into the controversial Kedong Ranch matter, vowing to address the historical land injustices in the area, a narrative that the two presidential contenders have been propelling in the region to woo voters every electioneering period.
Na wale watu tulikuwa tunazungumza mambo ya kule Mau, sasa wakubali tukuje tuzungumze mambo ya Kedong. Mbona wamenyamaza? Si walikuwa na mdomo mrefu mambo ya Mau? Sasa wakuje tuongee mambo ya Kedong. Wasianze kupiga kona. Kwani mambo ya Kedong hamtaki izungumziwe? Si lazima izungumziwe mpaka iamuliwe vizuri, mpaka haki ya Wamasai ipatikane. Wale wanasema tuongee mambo ya Kedong nione kwa mkono. Wakati Kedong imefensiwa na wakora, ikachimbwa mitaro, watoto wetu wakafukufa kwa hiyo mitaro, ng'ombe yetu ikakufa kwa hiyo mtaro. Naibu wa Rais, ulisikia mimi na ukanisaidia, na kwa sababu watu wetu hawajafukuzwa. Simeni Ruto!
He reiterated that Masai Mau forest matter was over and now the focus should be on the Kedong Ranch. Speaking in a series of rallies in KAJIADO and NAROK counties, the second in command defended his track record, promising to serve Kenyans even better if elected the fifth president.
Si mimi ndio nilikuja kuanzisha? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si tumejenga colleges zingine 5 mimi nikiwa deputy president? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si tumewaunganishia stima kutoka watu 20,000 tumefikisha watu 80,000. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tumejenga barabara hapa karibu kilomita 350 mpya hapa Narok. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tumeweka equipment yenu kwa hospitali hapo, iko ICU sasa. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Sasa mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Ntulele na Narok, kazi ya bwana Kitendawili akiwa prime minister hapa Narok iko wapi?
Narok County has 6 constituencies, controlling at least 398,000 registered voters. Kilgoris constituency, recording at least 76,000 registered voters. Emuria Dikir, with 44,000 registered voters, while Narok West recorded 66,000 registered voters. That Ruto and his challenger Raila Odinga are seeking to put on the basket. Nonetheless, the UDA flag bearer accused the Azimio coalition leaders of speaking propaganda.
Mimi nataka niwaambie watu wa kuzimia, kwa sababu mmekosa agenda. Mnaongea juu ya hasira ya Ruto. Mimi nataka niwaambie, wacha hasira ya Ruto. Hasira ya Ruto ni kidogo. Hasira yenye iko na hawa wananchi ambao wamelala njaa, ambao wamepandishiwa chakula, bei ya chakula, tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, mtashangaa ile hasira wa Kenya watapiga kura nayo kusukuma nyinyi mkwende nyumbani kabisa.
DP was accompanied by ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro, among other leaders. Paul Kirobi, TV 47.
Thank you, Kirobi, for that report. Still on campaign matters, Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga has intensified his campaigns. Raila and the Azimio brigade pitched tent in Murang'a County today. Raila promised to prioritize agriculture if elected Kenya's 5th president. Lucky Heriano with more.
Azimio One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga has vowed to prioritize agriculture if Azimio forms the next government. Speaking during his tour in Murang'a, the presidential hopeful promised to improve the sector as Azimio running mate Martha Karua vowed to weed out corruption if Raila occupies the house on the hill.
Sisi tumesema nyinyi mnatoa ushuru kila siku. Hapa mama akienda kununua chumvi katika duka pale, ametoa ushuru. Kununua sukari, mtoa ushuru. Kununua unga, mtoa ushuru kubwa. Kununua mkate, ushuru. Ukikunywa Coca-Cola, ushuru kabisa. Kuvuta sigara, ndani yake. Ukikunywa ile one for the road, hiyo ni mama yake hiyo sasa.
Tunataka serikali ya kulinda mali yetu. Iwache kuporwa, kuibiwa na kutumiwa vibaya. Ujue tunaweza simama hapa tuwapatie mipango. Wengine waje wawapatie mipango nzuri tu kama yetu.
Kwanza cheki ya wachuuzi.
Raila was accompanied by Murang'a Women Representative Sabina Chege, former Gatanga Member of Parliament Peter Kenneth, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, among other leaders who drummed up support for the Azimio coalition as they urged residents to vote in Raila and Karua.
Niliwaambia nyinyi vizuri kabisa. Nikiwaambia ukishaitwa wewe ni mwizi. Ukishahusishwa na mambo yote ya kuua. Ukishahusishwa na mambo ya unyang'anyi. Ukihusishwa na mambo isiyo ya sawa.
Na sisi watu wa pwani wote kutoka Lamu, Tana River, Kilifi, Taita Taveta na Mombasa na Kwale tumeamua tunaenda na baba 100%.
Earlier on, Azimio running mate Martha Karua was crowned as a woman of honor in Kikuyu community, an event that took place at Kimorori Grounds, Kenol Town in Murang'a County. The event, which was led by Kikuyu woman Elder Damaris Nyambura Kariuki.
That we are here to dedicate Martha in the Kikuyu way and then usher her to all the other 46 counties.
Reporting for TV47, I'm Lucky Heriano.
Now that report from Lucky Heriano takes us to a very short break. We'll be right back with more to keep it right here.
Untold Stories.
The new mobile money service imefika. Vuma ni wallet yako ya kurahisisha. Download Vuma app just like that. Ama join ukidial *844#8. Kutop up ni Visa au Mastercard. Pesa Vuma tu Vuma ni free kutuma. Yo. Kufanya transfer to any bank ni kuvuma. Vuma. Sort mother na mzae na Vuma. Buy airtime kwa kila network for free. Hakuna interruptions ukibonga na msupa. Credo itaishaje na unaweza ukavuma. Sort bill zako na the Vuma pay bill. Lipa popote kwa till number ya Vuma. Sasa hiyo ndio inaitwa kuvumisha. Lipa faster ukivumisha. Kupata loan ukitaka ni kuvuma. Ukivumisha loan limit inapanda. Cash deposit na kutoa hiyo ni sawa. Na si kutoka base moja hapo sawa.
To join, dial *844# and download the Vuma app now. Load cash to your wallet through Vuma agents or your bank, or go to your nearest KCB Bank branch, ATM or agent. Let your money flow with Vuma.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend. Now, IPA leader Kalonzo Musyoka and his brigade pitched tent in Garsen and Lamu counties, where he drummed up support for the Raila Karoa presidential ticket, saying they are the best bet for the country for the next 5 years. Further, Kalonzo says Azimio One Kenya government will offer free education and healthcare services if Azimio forms the next government.
Watu kutoka Hola, Garsen, Hola kwenda Ukambani na Kenya ile ya Nairobi inakuwa rahisi zaidi. Na ili kumaliza mambo ya kutojua kusoma na kuandika, Raila na sisi zote tunasema mwaka ujao watoto wa Kenya sasa hii wanaolemewa zaidi ni wale wako katika secondary school. Hakuna mtoto wa Garsen na Tana River na Hola na Bura mpaka huko karibu na Garissa mahali mnajua inaitwa Mandogo, sio? Hakuna mtoto atalipa karo ndio watoto wasome bila hiyo. Wangapi anafurahia hiyo? Sasa kama mnataka watoto wasome bure, ni sharti tujitahidi zote, tarehe 9 mwezi ujao tuende kwa kupiga kura, tumpigie Raila Amolo Odinga. Wangapi tena watampigia Raila? Nataka naona
hayo itakuja kutimiza hiyo. Ni serikali ya baba na
sasa. Wacha niwaambie, kwa hii gari yetu, gari inaitwa ya Azimio, dereva ni His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Co-driver wake ni mama Martha Wangare Karua. Alafu mnajua yule ambaye anapanga route anaitwa Man Stevo. Si mnamuona hapa? Wacha niwaambie, kazi ya Wiper kwa hiyo gari ni kupanguza uchafu. Si ni kweli? Tumesema tutapanguza uchafu wote, tutapanguza wizi, tutapanguza corruption, tutapanguza uongo, tutapanguza njaa, tutapanguza shida za watu wetu. Sasa
let's take a look into health matters as the global monkeypox outbreak has been declared a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization. This comes after more than 1,600 cases were reported in 75 countries where research was conducted. This means WHO now views the outbreak as a significant threat to global health that needs international response to prevent the spread of the virus. Although the declaration does not impose requirements on national government, it serves as an urgent call for action.
So in short, we have an outbreak that has spread around the world rapidly through new modes of transmission about which we understand too little and which meets the criteria in the international health regulations. For all of these reasons, I have decided that the global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern. Accordingly, I have made a set of recommendations for 4 groups of countries. First, those that have not yet reported a case of